Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is, are suitcase nukes being pulled out of probably their lead boxes, dusted off, and prepared to be set off? That's the question. In other words, what is setting off these radiation detectors? Not just in New Jersey, not just New York, but also California. What's going on? Well, you and I believe it's probably exactly that. They probably are pulling out the suitcase nukes to set them off. And according to what Jason Meeks saw in the dream, is that when the financial system changes, of course, that's the real reason, in my opinion, why they killed JFK, is because he was threatening to take their financial system away. And Donald Trump is about to do that. He's about to come into power, and that's what the dream showed. And that when he came in power, the suitcase nukes were set off. Now, the dream showed it all happened the same day. I want to believe that it doesn't happen the same day. I want to believe it doesn't happen, at least the bad things. Anyway, so our topic is, are the suitcase nukes being pulled out of hiding and prepared to be used? Now, I'm going to talk more about this in the second half, but I want to, I should say, encourage you to watch it. Russia says it's developed a cancer vaccine and will launch it for free. We'll talk about that in the second half. And yes, I already covered the first few slides, but I think it's important that everybody know it. And I'm asking everybody to send this out. Anyway, so this military contractor fears New Jersey drones are searching for a nuclear warhead. I didn't say nuclear radiation or something like that, a nuclear warhead. So the founder of this company that supplies cutting-edge unmanned aircraft to the military with 25 years of military experience says he believes the search is for a rogue nuclear warhead that has been smuggled in the United States. And he says the only reason why you would ever fly an unmanned aircraft at night is if you're looking for something. And another article said the reason they don't look during the day is because the sunlight blocks a lot of the radiation and it's not as easily detected during the day. So they have to go scanning for the radiation at night. So I'd recommend you go to prophecyclub.com and get yourself some potassium iodide pills, because when a nuclear device is detonated, the wind blows the dust everywhere, settles on everything. You can't avoid it. You breathe, eat, absorb radioactive iodine, which kills your thyroid, killing you. But these pills are a simple fix. They flood your thyroid with good iodine, keeping the radioactive iodine out. 1 bottle per person per exposure for everyone from infant to adult. 10 bottles, gift of $150. You may not have 10 people in your family, but hey, for $20 you can save a person. It's a good idea to get at least 10, in my opinion, but you can get 1 bottle for $20. Shelf life 5 to 8 years, potentially more if you refrigerate it, and even more if you freeze it. I keep mine frozen. Potassium iodide pills, prophecyclub.com. And yes, we are out of them, but we have more heading this way. I mean, they went like within an hour. Get some. Okay. Also, I recommend you get a satellite phone and some other things. And for that, I'll send you to sat123.com. Use the promo code PROPHECY. Also, you need to have a water filter. Right now, we have them on special. Instead of $275, 1 filter is $250. 2 filters is now $370, $335. Also, I recommend you call 800-200-GOLD. Check and make sure that your finances are not in paper where you could lose them. These guys can give you some good advice. Also, as you recall, I heard 2 words, medical. And I specifically had asked in reference to the suitcase nukes. So I think that that's doing 2 things. Confirming they're there, confirming they're going to go off, sad to say, and telling me and those people that would listen to this ministry, you need to get some medical supplies. And we don't know where they're going to go off, but my guess is that we're all here pretty soon going to be treating some burn victims and some people of suitcase nukes. Anyway, I recommend you share these videos, and we need to get We need to get them. I mean, I need to have 200,000 or 300,000 views, not 20 or 30. Or, I mean, I appreciate the people that are looking, but we need to reach a whole lot more people. And this one is the complete list of all of the prophecies about suitcase nukes. All right, let's go back to this guy. I covered him. And now let's talk about this. This is a federal website where they offer, where the government is saying we need to buy something. Who wants to sell it to us? And what are they offering? They're saying we have a need for potassium iodide tablets, 65 milligrams, 20 tablets in a bubble pack, and they're saying they want it by December 21, 2024. Do they know something we don't know? Do they know that suitcase nukes are about to go off? My guess is yes. Now, how many are they wanting? 224,601 packages of these 20 tablet blister packs. So I'm recommending you get yourself some potassium iodide pills also, prophecyclub.com. We've got some more. We can take your order, but you need to order them quick. All right. I also covered this, but I'm trying to make a point. They're saying, and now I have many articles. By the way, thank you for sending emails to me. Now I have many articles that say that radiation alarms are going off. These radiation detectors are detecting a radiation spike in New Jersey and in New York. And now I've got one that says it's happening out in California, in Albany, California. Now let's get on to the new info that I wanted to bring you today. Feds ban drones from dozens of New Jersey area airspaces, and it has a map there showing you where they've been banned. It goes on to say that the Federal Aviation Administration has issued temporary flight restrictions. What's going on? It says, well, with these new restrictions, the frequent sightings of these drones should stop if they're not government or military drones. My guess is they're not going to stop. And the reports say that they are flying in like you would mow your lawn, okay, in a circular pattern like this. In other words, they are searching. And I haven't got any kind of a confirmation from God, but I personally believe that they are searching for suitcase nukes. And I think the whole thing about a nuke being smuggled in from Ukraine, and also about radioactive things being stolen, all of that, that's all cover story. What the dream told me, and I've put that out in a video, I just covered it for you, about all of the suitcase nuke prophecies. And in my dream, he showed me that it's a sophisticated series of nuclear bombs going off, showed me nuclear, and that the people behind it would be international bankers. That's the Molochs. And I had a guy ask me, saying, are you saying the Federal Reserve? And I said, well, I can't officially say that, but my guess is, yeah, probably. Those 12 banking families, those are the people, or part of them at least. This is what I believe. I can't prove it, but I believe these are the guys that rule the world. Anyway, so they say if they're not government, they'll probably stop. But I think they are government because it's somebody in the government searching for them, somebody in the know. Both the state and the feds replied, no, it's not them. Well, yeah, is this the same government that's been lying to us since the days of Abraham Lincoln? Probably. Okay, let's go on. Now, this is interesting. Top 8 telltale signs the U.S. government is lying about the mysterious drones. None of the mysterious drones have been shot down for analysis. That's interesting. Initial excuses for not shooting down drones were seen as lies. Similar past incidents like COVID-19 origins, the terrorist-flown planes of 9/11. DHS and the Pentagon dismiss eyewitness accounts attributing sights to commercial aircraft or stars. Government has not provided detailed close-up photographs of the drones. We can do that. Why haven't we provided pictures why hasn't there been, with so many sightings, the only things we have are these cell phones, these grainy old things. Why is it the government hasn't got a clear picture? Why is it that they can't tell us exactly where they took off from, where they landed, okay, if it's not the government, then we're in trouble. And it is the government. Drones are hovering over military bases. That's another thing. If it's not the government, the drone goes over a military base, should be shot down immediately. I can tell you that's what the Russians do. Drones are hovering over military bases, including the largest naval base in Norfolk, Virginia, with the government showing no concern. Why? Because because they understand. Here's what I want to be. I want to believe that the good guys in the government have actually listened to me, and I don't know, maybe there's some other people talking about suitcase nukes. As far as I know, no one is. Maybe they've listened. Matter of fact, I happen to know that there is one person in New York City that's high in government that is a subscriber to Prophecy Club and watches us on a regular basis. I happen to know that. And I'm asking if someone can get me in contact with someone to where we can get this word out. Please do. By the way, I would really like to talk to Donald Trump. One thing I would tell him is, don't split Israel. You split Israel, and you'll split America. You'll destroy America if you split Israel. Don't do it. That's the one thing I'd like to tell Donald Trump. Well, let's go on. Now, top tell signs the U.S. government is lying about the mysterious drones. One, they haven't shot down a single one to analyze it. The first excuse was a ridiculous lie that it might fall and injure civilians. Number three, they're witnessing a commercial aircraft or stars in the sky. That's ridiculous. 4, zero zoomed-in close-up photographs by the government, and the drones are hovering over military bases, and they're not doing anything about it. Number 6, there's no evidence these drones are a threat, says John Kirby of the government. Okay, so if a nuclear bomb is heading down at America, this John Kirby would say, oh, well, there's no evidence that that missile heading toward us from Russia is a threat. Maybe they're just sending us a note. Maybe they're testing a missile. Maybe there's not even a nuclear bomb in it. You see how silly that is? And number 7, we're going on a solid month now, and there's no answers. Biden regime and the deep state are in desperate mode to plan something, anything, to stop Trump from taking control of the government and military in just 1 month from now. That's true. All right, now let's talk about the global financial control system. Why do we say that? Well, the Bible says, Revelation 13, that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Now, the only way that can happen is if all of our financial systems, all of our financial transactions on the globe are all digital, because the devil's got to get between the buyer and the seller. And if they're using either gold, silver, or paper as some exchange, they can't get between it. But if it's digital, to where the buyer has to go to use a phone. We know it will look similar to a cell phone. 7 billion of the report have already been made. And then that goes into the local system, which uplinks to Elon Musk's Starlink satellites, which then uplinks to the quantum computers that I'm about to cover. Okay, and then it links back down to the buyer-seller link through their system. They can stop that. That's what we're going to be talking about. Now, wait a minute, Stan. What does cancer vaccine have to do with our finances? It's all part of getting us into their system. It says the shot will launch in early 2025, and the vaccine will apparently be used to treat cancer patients only. In other words, it's not just a preventative, but it starts with just the people that already have cancer, rather than being given to the general public to prevent tumors from forming in the first place. Well, that's all part of the system. My understanding is, what we are told, is that they'll come out with a new system, and it'll be tied into your cell phones, and the cell phone won't be able to have a cover on it, And you won't be able to cover it in any way because it's always taking your fingerprints, your voice print, your face print, all the time. And you can't make a phone call, you can't play a game, you can't send a text on it. It is only for buying and selling. And then these 7 billion cell phones, well, cell phone-like devices, apparently have already been manufactured. And then, of course, they link into, it'll be so that if you walk in someplace that has a Wi-Fi, this is my belief, this phone will automatically go around any username or password. It will link into any Wi-Fi, any place immediately. And you can't stop it from linking into those Wi-Fis. But it's all about finances. Then that links into the Starlink, into the Quantum, and then down to the buyer or the seller, whichever it is. Now let's go on. Here it is. I spent about 45 minutes reading every word on this website. And it is scary. It says, meet Willow, our state-of-the-art quantum chip. Our new chip demonstrates error correction and performance that paves the way to a useful large-scale quantum computer. One of the things you won't be able to do is to buy or sell or to get medical or to do anything if you're not part of this system. Now, the article says the first is that Willow can reduce errors exponentially as we scale up using more qubits. This cracks a key challenge in quantum error correction that the field has pursued for almost 30 years. So this is the 30-year breakthrough. Second, Willow performed a standard benchmark computation in under 5 minutes. Now listen to this. This is important. In under 5 minutes, it would take one of today's fastest human computers. They don't say that, but that's what they're really talking about. Fastest human supercomputers, 10 septillion. That's 1025 years. I think that's saying 10 with 125 zeros behind it. That's what they're really saying. The number that vastly exceeds the age of the universe. Okay, this is not mankind. I'll show you another article here in just a second. Mankind didn't make this. We didn't come up with a quantum computer. This was given to us by the, quote, extraterrestrials, by the benevolent good guys out there. And okay, so here's the truth. So the devil makes the financial system and has ruled it for at least 300 years, truth being back to the pyramid, the Pharaoh days. But anyway, he's ruled it for at least the last 300 years. So then he destroys it so that he can bring in a new system. The devil is in control of the whole thing. Now let's go on to the article. The Willow chip is a major step on a journey that began over 10 years ago. When I founded Google Quantum AI in 2012, the vision was to build a useful, large-scale quantum computer that could harness quantum mechanics, the operating system of nature to the extent that we know it today, to benefit society, no, to enslave society, by advancing scientific discovery, developing helpful applications, and tackling some of society's greatest challenges. They're not trying to build a great society. They're not trying to fix everything. They're not trying to make us happy. They're not trying to give us everything. They're trying to take everything away. They're trying to make it so that no one can buy or sell, save he had the mark, and so that every knee must bend and worship the Antichrist sitting on the Ark of the Covenant, God's golden throne on the earth. That's where it's going. He sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. As part of Google research, our team has chartered a long-term roadmap, and Willow moves us significantly along the path towards commercially relevant applications, or the mark of the beast. Now, here's what I said I'd tell you. This comes from finalwakeupcall.info, and I do not recommend everything on that site. There's some other things on there I'd take off real quick. But nevertheless, it says little is known that this system has been designed in preparation for the takeover of the central bank monetary debt system, which in my opinion is very, very close. If you look at Jason Meek's dream, it says it happens on or shortly before Trump takes control. Now, whether that is January 20th or before, I don't know. Let's go on. In preparation for the takeover of the central bank monetary debt system to end the financial slavery and control over the populace. Now, this is what the good guys think. They think that this is going to be good and we're going to go into a golden new age. Briefly, yes, I think it will happen briefly. But then the devil takes over. The alliance gave President Trump the magic wand of taking over the old banking system without changing it. Humanity does not have the technology, we don't, to fight the deep state's financial system. So what did we do? We took the financial system of the deep state. Extraterrestrials came to the rescue with, okay, you're not believing this, right? Okay, it's called demons, all right? Here's the way we would say it. Demons tricked us into taking the new financial system. That's the truth. Okay, so extraterrestrials came to the rescue with alien or even other dimensional technologies to accomplish this task. In quantum computers, intelligence is embedded without 3D proprieties. No 3D creation can replace the power of a living being. To this end, artificial intelligence, what did they just say? See if you can catch it. Let me read that again. No 3D creation can replace the power of a living being. To this end, artificial intelligence was designed to replace conscious beings. Did you catch it? It just said that the artificial intelligence, which, by the way, I understand that that's not what AI means. I've been told that AI actually means alien intelligence. Okay, so what it's saying is that they're going to come up with the image of the beast that is part man, part machine, or I should say more correctly, part flesh and part computer chip. And it is going to, it's saying that AI is actually a conscious being. Well, I'll read that for you in scripture in just a second. That's exactly what the Bible says is coming. All right, let's go on. The QFS is expected to operate on quantum benevolence. They do think we're stupid. Okay, benevolent intelligence from demons? There is no benevolent intelligence from demons. The QFS is expected to operate because the demons gave us the technology. That's what it means. With interaction on any financial transaction anywhere in the financial world. As a guarantee that every transaction is legal and transparent for every account holder, someone who has mastered quantum physics can understand the effect of this quantum information technology and how it has on every financial transaction. Did you catch that? Every financial transaction that passes through the quantum financial system. It cannot be modified. The confirmation and disclosure of this fortunate component of the QFS is the assurance and hallmark of a 100% reliable, neutral, secure transfer system with the devil's finger in the middle of it. Okay? QFS has no comparison to anything that's ever been presented to the world before. It is like an anti-gravity machine compared to an automobile. There's no real basis to understand this technology. It has no peer, has no equivalent to an advanced technology that anyone has had before. It's new. It reigns supreme in the technology it uses to accomplish the financial security and transparency needed for currency holders to perform all the financial and humanitarian objectives. What did they just say? So that no man but buy or sell unless they're in this. With the QFS, the world can be flooded with gold-backed currencies that are designated to eliminate the old cabal financial system. That's what they actually will do briefly, with central bankers in control over all financial transactions. Remember, Kissinger said, who controls food supply controls people. Who controls energy can control continents, but he who controls money can control the world. And that's where they're going. And speaking of going, I've run out of time. So God bless you. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you. And pass this along. Help me get this word out. If you don't want to lose your life's savings, if you have an IRA or a 401k, the thing to do is call 800-200-GOLD. 800-200-GOLD. These folks are Christians and they specialize in helping people not lose their life savings in the event of a stock market crash and things like that. Look, most of the 401ks, most of the IRAs are in paper, backed by paper, and as Lindsey Williams says, If it's in paper, it's worth the paper it's written on. You can lose it all. 1-800-200-GOLD. 800-200-GOLD. Hey, give them a call. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't cost you anything. See if they can give you some good advice. In 2021, I started making bread. And long story short is I believe God showed me that wheat is God's famine food, just like it was famine food back in the 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine, days of Pharaoh and Joseph. And I believe that that's what God has planned to feed his people. And you get it by going to josephskitchen.com. 3 steps. First, you want to get a machine package. Second, you want to order 6 ingredients and watch some videos, download the recipes to be able to make the bread. josephskitchen.com. Most of your long-time storage food, emergency food, all of that, typically are talking $9,000, $10,000 to feed one person for a year. Joseph Kitchen can show you how to do it for around $1,000 a person, and your kids will actually eat it, and it's actually good for you. Here's some bread that I made. In my case, I lost weight, lowered my blood pressure, gives me more energy. I eat a morning, slice in the morning, slice in the afternoon. There's always a slice before I go play racquetball. Go check it out, josephskitchen.com. If you're out and about and all of a sudden you need gasoline, you need food, and the credit cards aren't working, they aren't taking dollars, then one of the best things to have is right here. It's a prepper bar. Each one of these is a little bit bigger than a credit card. It'll fit in your purse or your billfold, and it breaks into various pieces. So you could give them part instead of maybe more silver, more gold than you need to. Carry it right in your billfold or your purse. This particular one is 5 bars. You don't necessarily need to carry 5 bars with you, but you call 844-771-1776 or prophecyclubbar.com. prophecyclubbar.com. 844-771-1776. I'd recommend you get potassium iodide at prophecyclub.com. When a nuclear device is detonated, the wind blows the dust, and it's like fine dust, it's like powder, and it settles on everything. You breathe, eat, or absorb radioactive iodine, you pretty much can't avoid it, which kills your thyroid, killing you. But a simple fix is to simply take potassium iodide pills, which then flood your thyroid with good iodine, keeping the radioactive iodine out. You need 1 bottle per person per exposure for everyone from infant to adult, available. 10 bottles for a gift of $150, which is what I recommend, or $20 a bottle at prophecyclub.com. Shelf life 5 to 8 years, potentially more if you refrigerate it, or even more if you freeze it. Potassium iodide pills, prophecyclub.com. Right now we have them in stock, but so many people are ordering them, you may have to wait a while to get them.